Alton Towers Resort is a theme park here in the UK that is home to the roller coaster with the world's most inversions, the first flying, vertical drop and free fall drop roller coaster, all separately, not in the same coaster, some of the best dark rides in the world, a couple of flat rides, and the world's first topspin, elevated by concrete. There is genuinely so many unique rides on offer at Alton Towers, and that is why today I thought it'd be cool to not just look at those roller coasters, but look at every single ride in the park and rank the 20 best ones. This is the top 20 rides at Alton Towers Resort and no longer Spa. And I do this pretty much every year to see how my list has changed, and this year it has changed quite a bit. So be sure to watch till the end to see my full ranking. And if you disagree with it, then comment down below your ranking. I'd love to see it. And subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I do so much content much like this and loads of other stuff all about theme parks here in the UK and around the world. So if you're interested in that, yeah, subscribe. It'd be greatly appreciated. Now, obviously, a few rules before we do this top 20, because there's a few things I need to quickly cover. First of all, I have not ridden every single ride at Alton Towers. I've ridden the main ones. I just haven't ridden the likes of Go Jetter's Vroomster Zoom ride and stuff like Raj's Bottom Bouncy, but oh wait, I actually have been on that. That's sad. Number 2, as the list goes on, I will begin to talk about the coasters and rides more because they're better the further you go along. And number 3, remember this is just my opinion, so if you disagree, please don't shoot me. It's all a bit of fun ranking these rides. It's not that deep, but we're going to dive straight into the list, starting with number 20. As much as this might seem like a very silly one, In the Night Garden Magical Boat Ride in CBeebies Land. A very leisurely and calming experience on a boat as you travel round through different scenes to do with In the Night Garden. And the reason I put this at number 20 is because some of the animatronics on it, when they're broken, are hilarious. And if you go on a gloomy day, it's genuinely quite creepy. Proof that all Alton Towers rides are horror themed in some way or another. But following on from that, number 19, we have Heave Ho over in Mutiny Bay. This is a classic Rockin' Tug style attraction, and it pretty much just sits you in a boat, or you sit in the boat. It rocks back and forth for a little bit, and then it starts spinning round and round, and then shouting, "Heave Ho!" over the audio, and it's of course really well themed to be in Mutiny Bay, the pirate themed land, and I genuinely really enjoy that ride, even though I've barely been on it. Number 18 over in CBeebies Land again is Octonauts Roller Coaster Adventure. Now obviously I was going to put this at number 1, but for the fact this list is a serious list, I've put it at number 18. It's a junior coaster manufactured by Zamperla, has a booster wheel lift hill, and as you drop down from that lift hill, you do have a water effect that goes off in the center. For that alone, it could have been number 1, but it'll have to stick where it is, and a happy 10th birthday to it as well. That is crazy that it's been 10 years since that opened, but there we go. And number 17, we're going back to Mutiny Bay for Marauders Mayhem, another of the few flat rides in the park, and this one is a teacups style attraction, very much teacups but barrels, and you just sit in them, and of course you can spin it with the dial in the middle, and if you get the right sort of barrel you're in, oh my god, you can spin a lot. Some of them do have their disadvantages though, and are a little bit heavier and harder to spin. Don't know why that is. Any engineers, tell me in the comments. But it's fun for all the family, and again, a really nice fit in Mutiny Bay. Number 16, we have to go back and stay in Mutiny Bay, because we have Battle Galleons, a classic splash battle style ride where you stand or sit in these boats and go around these sort of very abandoned looking theming pieces, and you shoot at some little targets, but the main thing is when you come into battle with other boats. The amount of times I have been on that ride and just gone absolutely ham on the water cannons, and sometimes it doesn't go to plan, but a super fun ride nonetheless. As is number 15, Runaway Mine Train. This is a Mack family powered coaster, and it has a mine train as the front, funnily enough. Usually only goes round twice through its layout, but sometimes you get a 3-lap special, 4-lap special, 5-lap special. But that ride is a lot of fun. Sometimes it can be a little bit uncomfortable when you fling round into some of the turns. I think my favourite part of it is when you pass through the station or you start moving and they go over the mic. I've got to do it. Hold on tight and enjoy the ride. Choo choo. Absolutely fantastic. And tell you what is also pretty fantastic for families. Number 14, Gangster Granny The Ride. Over in the back corner of the park at David Walliams World. Thought I'd get this in here because it's probably not going to be with us for much longer. But as dark rides go, for families anyway, it's actually a really good ride. Some of the scenes in it very much reflect the book of Gangster Granny. You also see the characters, and obviously there's loads of lighting effects, smoke effects, bubbles even, and it is actually a pretty solid ride. So fair play to Alton Towers for making do with a David Walliams book. As said, I don't think it's got long left. But something I do imagine has long left is what has already been around for a very long time. Number 13, Congo River Rapids. Back over in Katanga Canyon, this river rapids ride traverses the waters. Watch out for them waterfalls when they're actually on. And this can be a calm ride sometimes, but this ain't no Jungle Cruise, Skipper. Sometimes you do get soaked on this ride, and when I say soaked, I mean soaked. And that's why I like it, you know. The unpredictability of those rapids also usually has the shortest wait too. The same can't be said for number 12, Spinball Whizzer, because that never has the shortest queue in the park. This marathon spinning coaster seats riders in a 4-person car, throws them around tight turns, helixes, and loads of different elements, spinning them. And this ride is a little bit out of place considering the amount of theming that Alton Towers now do. It's in its own little area very randomly, but it's a very popular ride, and I quite enjoy it, although I wouldn't be surprised if that gets removed at some point soon too. Get one of these in its place. That'd be fantastic. And talking of rides that I want removed, number 11 is Rita. Yes, I know it is very far down, but as some of you who watch this channel may know, I would have put it higher, but sadly, I just have to rank it lower because this incredible Intamin Accelerator launch coaster has a whopping 0 to 60 mile an hour launch straight off the bat into a turn, round and up over into a hill, then another turn, then round and up and over into another turn, in which you go up a small hill, turn, and you're done. But in all seriousness, it sits at 11 because it's not that imaginative. I feel like you could do so much better with that land, especially at Alton Towers. So yeah, that's my opinion on it, although I've got to ride it all day at some point later this year, and I'm not excited for that. At number 10, we have Nemesis Subterra. You thought I was going to say Reborn then? Got you there. This is an indoor dark ride slash flat ride, and it has this really cool sub-story, no pun intended, to Nemesis, also in Forbidden Valley. Talking about these Nemesis eggs and the phalanx, and they found these eggs underground and brought one up to sort of showcase to you, and everything goes a bit wrong. Spoiler alert. You then drop beneath the ground, and then you obviously come back up. There's loads of effects, and obviously you rush out the doors, get in the elevator again. The whole experience is amazing. I genuinely think that is one of the most unique rides we have here in the UK and potentially Europe. I thoroughly love Nemesis Subterra whenever I go on it. As I do, number 9, which is Galactica. Also in Forbidden Valley, although this feels a little bit more out of place than Subterra does. This B&M flying roller coaster is the world's first of its kind. Soaring over the area, sort of lying on your back at one point, doing a twist over as well, over the trees. That's a lovely ride. The portal, as you pass through that as well, the smoke and the mist, do really enjoy it, but it would rank higher if the theming and the operations were better. Obviously, it doesn't fit very well into Forbidden Valley, which makes us all think that it's going to get rethemed for next year, and the operations on it are awful sometimes. So yeah, fun and enjoyable, but it really needs help. As you would if you went to the woods alone, because at number 8 is 13. Yes, I know it should have been at number 13. No. This Intamin multi-dimension roller coaster is the world's first to have a freefall drop. What does that mean, you may ask? Well, if you've been on the ride, you know already, but if you haven't, you've just ruined the surprise for yourself. I'll act it out as me. So pretty much you come into this crypt section, you know, you're quite high up off the ground and you're thinking, oh, is that the ride done? And then suddenly you drop beneath yourself on the coaster track whilst you're in the train, and then you just completely launch backwards, and it is so cool. For a first of its kind and the first to do that, I think the theme is perfect. I think everything about it is really nice. And it's got that creepy vibe to it, you know? And that's perfect for a ride like 13. I would have it higher, but there are better rides above it, in my opinion. Such as number 7, Hex, The Legend of the Towers, which I might not have ranked in previous years because it's been on and off very heavily. But now, since the end of last year, it has had its full refurbishment and it has come back better than ever. Yes, they've put this weird disco light in. Yes, there's a lot more LEDs around and a lot more colour. I don't care. The ride itself, the pre-shows, the storyline, just the sort of ambience inside the building as well, the actual history that is tied to it. I love this ride so much. I think without a doubt this is probably the best madhouse in the world, which again, like with 13, if you're unsure on what this madhouse is or what that means, you're going to spoil it again. Pretty much you sit in a room and the whole room starts spinning around you. You do swing a little bit, but you don't go upside down, but the room makes you feel like you are, and it's perfect. At number 6, we have the world's first vertical drop roller coaster, Oblivion. Our first ride on this list from X Sector. And man, this ride packs a punch, and it punches very quickly. This B&M dive coaster opened in 1998 and has an insane vertical drop that goes all the way underground, out the other side, and then turns into the brake run. So not a very long ride, but that vertical drop anyway is absolutely incredible. If you're on the back row, you fly out of your seat. If you're on the front, you get this amazing view downwards. You hold there and then go. It's so intense at the bottom of that drop as well. I really hope it stays around at Alton Towers because it's iconic and it is amazing. At number 5, we have our last dark ride on this list, The Curse at Alton Manor. Opening down in Gloomywood in 2023, this was a brand new renovated version of the previous haunted house that then became Jewel, that then became Curse. And after in previous years being left to sort of rot and be this very worn down shooter ride, to have a brand new renovated ride that has no guns and you just enjoy the ride for the theming and the story, it is incredible. The queue is never more than 5 minutes, and if it is, it just consistently keeps moving. And when you're on the ride, the theming, some of the effects, the fact they use some screens and projections here and there, but never too much. There's loads of nods to previous attractions if you spot them, and just, it's a great ride that if you haven't done yet, you need to go and check it out. As you do for the new ride that opened this year. Coming in at number 4, Toxicator, over in Forbidden Valley. This is the world's tallest topspin because it's elevated by concrete, and you may sort of recognise the ride cycle from maybe something like Ripsaw that was there previously. And yes, this is sort of similar, but it's a lot more modern and is a lot better because not only can you walk underneath this entire ride and see it from 2 different sides, the ride is 2-sided, so you can see multiple reactions, and the cycle itself with how it spins and how many flips it does is perfect. Me personally, I'm not someone who enjoys like going, oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. But I'm not someone who would enjoy just one flip and that's it. Toxicator strikes that middle ground because not only is it heavily themed and got this amazing story with the phalanx and it links into Forbidden Valley so well, but it does around 5 to 7 flips depending on what sort of wind and conditions you go on it in. And every time I've been to Alton Towers this year so far, I have had to have a ride on it. It's so much fun. And number 3, we're on the top 3, guys. Now, I can't lie to you, this is where it might get controversial because number 2 is probably not what you expect. But getting ahead of ourselves, number 3 is the Smiler, back over in X Sector. This Gerstlauer Infinity coaster has 14 inversions on it. Yep, you go upside down 14 times on it. It's a lot. Although there is a midpoint where you do sort of stop for a second, get a breather, and then you climb a vertical lift hill and do it all over again. But I can't lie to you, I do genuinely really enjoy this ride. As much as I don't go on it every time I go, that is mainly because it's just got the longest queue in existence. And as much as it can be a little rough towards the end and it is a little bit headbangy, the way it is all just spaghetti placed into that section of X Sector, and it's just going everywhere around you in the queue line. And when you're on it, you barely know where you're going as well. I do think it is one of those underappreciated coasters in the UK because everyone slates it, but it is incredible. But I prefer number 2, which is Wickerman. Yes, I know a lot of people do love the Smiler, and I do love it too, but Wickerman just holds a special place in my heart. This wooden roller coaster opened in 2018 and is themed to this burning statue of a man and a ram, and has fire effects going out of its shoulders as you pass through it, and just the way it glides around that track despite being a family coaster is genuinely crazy. It just carries so much speed from a non-existent drop. Like the first drop looks quite slow and then you go into that twisted drop, and it's just got so much speed from that point onwards. I would say that a front row ride on this probably rivals Smiler more for 3rd place, so maybe that would switch it. But a back row ride on this thing is amazing. The theming and everything, the pre-show before you get on, and the soundtrack and the queue line, the way it wraps around the whole ride, I love it so much, hence why I'm literally repping it right now. But you have probably guessed already by what I've already ranked what number 1 actually is. And that is, of course, Nemesis Reborn. The B&M inverted coaster Nemesis did open in 1994 until in 2023 they had closed the ride and completely retracked it and renovated all of its surrounding area to create Nemesis Reborn, which opened in 2024. So to those of you saying that Nemesis Reborn is just the same ride repainted, it really isn't. They literally retracked the whole thing, put in brand new track and new supports to make it live on longer and to make it much smoother, which with the new B&M hasn't been the case. But I don't want to go into that because I will get rattled, because the rest of the ride is genuinely insane, from the first little drop round to, of course, that first whippy corkscrew that you go around all the way to the ground under that helix, passing through that smoke effect as the eye blasts towards you. I think that eye itself is incredible as well. Following that, the little turnaround, the vertical loop is amazing, and then you go into that other turnaround, and then the final inversion round into Rattle Corner and into the brakes. It doesn't sound like a very long ride, but when you're on it, it just doesn't stop. A relentless, intense, very well themed coaster. If that doesn't put it at number one, I don't know what does. And who knows, in a few years' time, could we see another coaster beat this? We'll just have to wait and see. Like I said, leave your thoughts down below on my list and leave your list down below, because I'm sure they're a lot different, because a lot of you probably don't rate Wickerman as high as me, and some of you may be weird and rate Rita really high too. But be sure to subscribe so you don't miss future videos like this one, because like I said, I still need to ride Rita all day. Pray for me.